The price of staying quiet while others take the credit. It was Thanksgiving at Aunt Sarah's, and the air smelled like rosemary and decades of unspoken resentment. My cousin, Caleb, was holding court again, leaning back in his chair with that smirk that says he owns the room. Caleb is the family hero. He stayed in our hometown, took over the management of Grandpa's old landscaping company, and never missed a Sunday service. I'm the corporate sellout, the one who moved to Chicago, wears the tailored suits, and supposedly forgot where I came from. It's a shame, really, Caleb said, loud enough for the whole table to stop chewing. Some of us stay and break our backs to keep Grandpa's legacy alive, while others just send a Hallmark card and call it a day. The table chuckled. My own mother squeezed my hand, but she was smiling at him. Even Grandpa, his hands shaking slightly from age, nodded and patted Caleb's arm. You're a good man, Caleb. Don't know what we'd do without you. I felt the familiar heat rising in my chest. For 3 years, I've been wire transferring $4,000 a month into that company's account. Caleb didn't save the business, I did. He ran it into the ground with bad bets and laziness, and I've been quietly covering the payroll, the equipment leases, and the back taxes, just so Grandpa wouldn't have to see his life's work vanish. Caleb saw me looking and doubled down. Hey, don't look so sour, big shot. Maybe if you spent less time on golf courses, you'd know what a real day's work actually feels like. The laughter followed. It was sharp, and it stung. I looked at Grandpa, who was looking at me with sort of a pitying disappointment. I set my fork down. The sound hit the china like a gavel. Caleb, I said, my voice steady. Do you remember the audit back in February? The one where you told everyone the bank made a clerical error and wiped the $60,000 deficit? He blinked, his smirk wavering. Yeah, so? I pulled my phone out and tapped the screen. I slid it across the tablecloth right in front of Grandpa. That wasn't the bank, Grandpa. That was my savings. All of it. I leaned in, my voice dropping to a whisper that filled the room. I've paid every single payroll for the last 36 months. I have the receipts, the wire confirmations, and the emails from Caleb begging me not to tell you he'd gambled away the insurance money. The silence that followed wasn't just quiet, it was heavy. Grandpa picked up the phone, scrolling through the documents with squinted eyes. His face went from confusion to realization to a cold, hard anger. He looked at Caleb, then back at me. I didn't want the credit, I said, standing up and grabbing my coat. I walked out into the cold November air. Behind me, the house was silent. For the first time in 10 years, I finally felt like I could breathe.